Welcome, Lina, to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about the Predatory Void, this new album, Seven Keys to the Discomfort of Being, a huge name for a new album, for your first album. So, we start with a common question. Why did you decide to start a band during the end of the pandemic? Because the band started in 2022. Oh, a lot of people know that. And now, one year after, you release, well, now this year you will release your first album. So how was the expectative of this new album, etc.?
First of all, thank you for having me. Well, the thing is, the story is that during the pandemic, Leonard was recording some songs, writing some songs at home, and they didn't really fit like Amenra or Oathbreaker. So the more he was writing, the more he realized that it should be like its own entity, and he decided to try and start a band and invited some people, including me, to play together, and that's how the band came to be, actually.
Great, great. So, talking about from this first album, what kind of influence did you take to when all band did take to record? How was the composition process of this new album during this 1 year? Because 1 year of difference from the first time that the band released, and now you are releasing the first album.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, we rehearsed a lot, like every Sunday or like every second Sunday. And then when we were confident enough that we could record the album, we went to the studio of our bass player, Tim. He's also the bass player of Amen Ra. And so the musical material was pretty much ready to be recorded. We did it like separately, all the instruments first, and then I decided I recorded the vocals together with Leonard and Tim, and all the lyrics written. I've had a lot of like drafts because I write a lot in my spare time, and then some of the songs we wrote in the studio. So that's how it went.
Okay. So, one the biggest news of this new album, about this first album, Seven Keys to Discomfort of Being, is that you are releasing by the huge label like this, Century Media Records, a great accomplishment for the band. So, how do you deal with this contract? Because new band, a first album released with a big label, so it's exciting news for you.
It's huge.
Yeah.
For me, it seems really surreal, actually. Because I'm used to like playing punk shows at squats and stuff like that. So it's a big step up. But I'm really happy because they are very enthusiastic. They're supporting us a lot. They're guiding us in things that we don't know. So far it's really great, but it does seem surreal. Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. I know that you came from Russia, but the band is from Belgium. So how well, some bands when these things about this, where the band's born. So do you say that the band born in Russia with Belgium, or as an international band, or perhaps it's just born in Belgium?
I would say it's born in Belgium because I also live in Belgium. Um, so it wasn't too difficult. I released an album with my like Russian band, Crossbringer, in 2020, and Leonard heard the release, and that's why he invited me, actually, because he liked my voice.
Okay. So other aspect that I don't know into this new album is that there are a lot of complex art into the music. Some reviewers said that this is more like a blackened sludge doom metal, some kind of stuff. Difficult to attack. So for you that you create all songs, what kind of style that the listeners will find into this new album? So for me, it's more like extreme, sometimes progressive in some aspects, but I denote more extreme metal and in common thing than in other things. But a lot of reviewers love to think more with say a person when one rip in 5 seconds, the band plays Black Trash. They put a lot of
Yeah, actually, it's a mix of all the styles that we personally like, I feel like. We started the whole process thinking of like we're gonna go the atmospheric death like route, but then we really started going all possible ways. So it has a lot of elements of all possible styles, and I feel like the songs on the album are also very different from each other. So it's just um black death doom with a touch of weird. That's how I call it.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of weirdness into this new album. So
exactly.
that's why if we relate to this the weirdness aspect, if you try to see the cover, right, it's the same. It's as a weirdness like a sculptor melting down with that lava there. I don't know. So if we try to relate, so what are the main focus of the lyrics with the name of the band, the cover art? So what kind of focus are you into the lyrics?
Yeah, so the name of the album is kind of self-explanatory in itself, and the lyrics are centered around like different conditions of like physical discomfort, mental, emotional, social discomfort, and that's the themes that we explore through the lyrics. I wrote them from like a personal stand of view. I analyze a lot of things that happen in life. I get inspired by like smallest things. I I overthink a lot. So yeah, I tried to kind of portray all all forms of discomfort as much as I could, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So you know that is well, you are a new band in the world, 1 year of existence, relative. So for this aspect, so what kind of so as you can see, sorry, as you can see now on Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, there is a lot of artists releasing new singles, new albums,
Hmm.
new EPs, a lot of new music coming every day. It's very difficult to focus in one. Oh, you got the attention more because you're under the Century Media Records. Sorry. So for that, what are the main difference that the Predatory Void has compared to the a lot of releases in the world?
Well, we're kind of trying to embrace a lot of things at once. I don't know if it's a it's a good thing or a bad thing, but um we're trying. I feel like we're very honest with what we're doing in lyrics and music, and we're not trying to sound like anyone else. And we're embracing like all the five personalities that we have within the band and let everyone shine in their own regard. So I feel like that could be something different, and we're of course we're trying to kind of convey it in the artwork that we're using. It was made for us by Sven, um, and we're collaborating with like filmmakers as well who have the same vision as us. So yeah, I, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a conscious choice to stand out. I feel like either the public accepts you as something that stands out or not. So
Mm. Okay.
yeah.
Well, okay. Well, now the next question is more related to the well for the audience especially because the people now prefer to hear the music with one, two singles from an album. Especially, a lot of people's now are did with the two previous singles did their playlist into the a lot of more no more to more promote. Especially now the media are focused more into the promote just singles. So in a
Mhm.
world that is more continue grow up with these more singles like the 40s and 50s when the music was spread at that time by singles. At that time, there's no EPs,
Mhm.
there isn't albums at that time. So which songs for you capture whole essence from this new album?
I would say the third single, Struggling, that we released is actually kind of like a preview of the whole album. because it has like atmospheric and very aggressive parts, doomy parts, shoegazy parts. So it's kind of like a very good summary of the album in itself. And the rest of the singles that will be revealed, they will kind of unfold the other aspects and highlight other things. Yeah.
Okay, okay. As you are a female fronted in Predatory Boy, so how do you see this aspect of the media are more focused in a people, bueno, in a media that related that more have more attention when a female is in a band, extreme metal band. So you see a lot of bands are more promoting for more than female than the music, especially if you can see Crypta, if you can see Nervosa. They're bands for me. I don't like that bands, but the media promotes more than the female thrash metal, female XXX. Like it's more important than the music. So what is your opinion about not Predatory Boy because I didn't see about the female fronted with the Predatory Boy, but other bands I saw with a female fronted. That many media say that this is more important for them that one female is into the band like guitar, drums, etc. And it's not present like the music. So what is your opinion about the media is more focused in the female aspect than the music? Are you agree with this or not?
It's a tough question. I personally prefer that. I don't know. I feel like women in music, women in any kind of industry, really deserve a shout out because a lot of them work a lot behind the scenes and never get the credit they deserve. And right now, when I see bands like, for example, I went to see a show with Gel before, for example. It's like an American hardcore punk band. And then there is Scowl, there is King Woman. And when I know that there are women in bands, I personally relate to it. So I am more prone to go and listen to these bands and to support them because I want to support other women. Maybe the how should I put it? Maybe the way it's being perceived now is changing, because we're trying to have kind of a balance, because like especially extreme metal is very very biased and very male dominated, and so I feel like yeah, these bands, they deserve it. I feel like a lot of women work very hard to achieve certain positions, and yeah, I think they should be highlighted for good reasons, of course, as well.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah. Well, no, I prefer to distinguish more the female work when the music is much better. Also, I don't like to see just image from the female because I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really care about that. I remember when I start to hear the music in the 80s, and at that time across a lot of bands from the 80s play female bass players, vocal
Yeah.
singers. So there's for me it's normal, but the media I don't know why they get more attention for the female fronted now. They are, I think, a lot of people create playlists with the female fronted bands. That's a curious thing. So,
Yeah, I feel like it's not a bad thing. I feel like otherwise we will never know the names of people who actually contribute a lot to metal or other music. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
yeah, yeah. So, talking about from the promotion of this new album, what are the future plans that the band has for these 7 keys? So perhaps you have more videos upcoming, perhaps you schedule your first full tour in Europe, or perhaps you will come to North America, or who knows, to Latin America, who knows? Perhaps there is a light in the tunnel that some promoters will see you to came here to Latin America.
Um, so the plans now are to do the presentation of our album at Roadburn in the Netherlands on 20th of April. Then the next day the album gets released officially. And after that, we'll be playing a lot of shows, and that's our main focus right now, to play live, to gain the experience of playing together. and then we'll see how it goes. Currently we will be only playing in like mainland Europe, like Netherlands, Belgium, maybe Germany, something else, and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the main goal is now just playing live, promoting the album, and yeah, that's all.
Okay, okay. We're talking about for your vocal methods. So, what kind of well, who inspired you to sing?
That's
Especially the girls part. Perhaps you will have influence from well, a lot of death metal singers from the 90s. Who knows?
actually like when I was growing up, I didn't really have access to music. We had like I grew up in a very small town. We didn't have internet. Um, I had to go to like a bootleg CD store, and they didn't even have like extreme music there. So everything I kind of learned was from MTV in the beginning, like watching Beavis and Butthead, and watching like some like when we had MTV, they had
Okay.
Headbanging Ball, I think, on like very late programming, and I didn't even know like the bands that were playing. I was just, yeah, I'm 32, so it's a long time ago. Um, and I kind of I never paid attention to like what the bands were. And then when I bought magazines, also bootleg magazines with bootleg interviews translated into Russian, then I saw like very mainstream bands that were already very famous, like Linkin Park and Slipknot, you know. And I was fascinated with like how you can scream. But then I started listening to way more obscure stuff, like a lot of grindcore, like a very underground grindcore. And when I was 18, we started like a death metal band with my friends. And that's how I started. I did like very guttural vocals. And then after I entered like local hardcore scene, met a lot of like straight edge people, started listening to more like real hardcore youth crew stuff, and went to cross punk shows. So it's a huge mix of a lot of things, but I can't say that like someone specifically really inspired me. It was just the primal feeling itself that you can really yell and like talk about whatever you want like this. That was really like, yeah, I won't do that.
Okay, nice to hear. Well, we'll end this interview, Lina. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Congratulations of this new album. It's very weird. There's weirdness, a lot of weirdness there. I love this kind of music. That's why I accept the proposal to do an interview with the band because really like it. So
Yeah.
perhaps do you want to add something to your new Latin American fans and Metalerium followers?
I would like to thank you for having me, for inviting me. It was a pleasure. Well, yeah, check out the singles. We'll be releasing some more songs very soon. Check out the album. We hope you like it. And if you have an opportunity to see us live, come see us live.